Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, back with another crypto video, and today we have a lot of stuff to talk about. And yes guys, I've been gone for a little while and a lot of you guys took notice of that, but trust me when I say that from now on there is going to be a update video every single day. Alright, so make sure you subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be pumping out a lot of the most important crypto news every single day. I'm going to keep you guys updated with XRP specifically, Ripple, Cardano, Tron, and everything. So make sure, as I said, you hit the subscribe button. And also, I'm going to be doing more on my Twitter, so make sure you also give that a little follow at TheDustyBC. There's going to be more about Instagram coming up soon, but, let's leave that for later. Let's hop right into the news of today. Ripple CTO, no XRP transactions cannot be blocked. Now, this is an interesting misconception or conception in theory here that there's a lot of different opinions about how XRP transactions work, how decentralization surrounding that works, and who exactly can do what. All right, and that has a lot to do with the comments that David Schwartz has made in the past. I think we've also shown them a couple of times in videos before. It's really kind of interesting. But here's the rundown. David Schwartz defends Ripple on Quora, and plenty of people say otherwise. Is Ripple centralized or decentralized? This question has been widely debated ever since the company launched in 2012. Today, the CTO, David Schwartz, has reaffirmed that the network is in fact decentralized and cannot actually block XRP transactions. This is actually despite what all the rumors are saying. So yes, Ripple CTO David Schwartz came to the defense of the company today after a Quora user asked whether or not it was true that XRP transactions could be blocked either by Ripple or by a third party. Now, the seemingly innocent question touched upon a long-standing debate over Ripple's level of decentralization and whether or not its native blockchain and XRP token is directly under the company's control. And to everybody watching / listening right now, you can obviously get that this is quite a big topic that's up for debate because there's a lot of questions surrounding this, and I really am willing to bet that most people don't know the answer to this. And it's not even strange, I find, because it is a very vague subject. They're trying to keep it vague. All the people act like they know, still a lot of people don't know, and that's where it becomes so interesting. In his reply, Schwartz immediately made it clear that Ripple is not a centralized network, nor is there any existing way that anyone could stop XRP transactions from being processed. So there we go, we got that rumor out of the ear by the CTO of Ripple, David Schwartz himself. And again, if you don't know who David Schwartz is, make sure you look him up, because that man, wow, alright, wow. In quote, there is currently no way to stop valid transactions from executing. Because the network is decentralized, nothing stops someone from writing code that blocks transactions currently considered valid and trying to convince people to run that code. It would take convincing a majority to run that code to stop those transactions. So really, that's, again, the basic principles of blockchain and with any actual system, I don't know the word in English right now, but to I guess record everything, just general blockchain here. What's the mechanism? I don't know the word. I think it's mechanism that I'm looking for. Validation mechanism. Maybe that's what I'm looking for in English. By the way, guys, I'm from the Netherlands, if you did not know. So, I'm trying to do my best in English, but it's sometimes a little bit difficult. Well, what I'm trying to say with that is there's always a way to make sure, or to try get the transactions the opposite side, right? Or try to double spend. There's always going to be people who are going to try to do that. And double spend, I mean, you're trying to put your money at one wallet and also in the other one, so to speak, or you're trying to send your money to person A, you're also trying to send that money, those $2 or those 2 XRP to another person, for example. There's all going to be people who try that. Why? Because it's double money, right? You're doubling your money in that sense. And there's also going to be people who are going to always try to rewrite the code or try to alter everything. And the reason that it doesn't work and why Ripple can't do that is because they would have to have the majority of the power, right? The majority of the nodes. And in this case, we know that Ripple has actually done their best to make it more and more decentralized so that they could never have the majority again. And in this case here, I think Ripple has maybe like 20%. Don't quote me on that. I don't know an exact percentage. It's just a guess. And that means they would have to convince another 30% of the whole network to, make sure or say that they are correct before anything like that could work. But yeah, the rest is not so important here, as we all know here that it's impossible to do. And that's really the point I wanted to make with this article right here. So, yeah, there's a little bit, oh, here is the word, the general consensus. Thank you. That was what I was looking for. XRP payments and cross-border transfers launched by BitPay. Leading payment processor BitPay has just announced that XRP, the third largest crypto by market cap, can now be accepted by all of its merchants around the globe. And whenever I see this type of stuff, guys, I really get filled with joy, just because there's so much positive stuff surrounding XRP in terms of developments, in terms of integrations, and a lot of people are still saying that they're not doing anything, that they're old news, that they're not moving forward. And I just look at these articles, look at these integrations, and I'm like, what? You know, how could you ever say that? Because XRP cannot be accepted by all BitPay's merchants, and that's just ridiculously amazing to me. BitPay added XRP to the list of supported digital assets in early October as part of its partnership with Ripple's investment arm Spring. However, the integration of the token only finished in January. So yes, we already knew it was going to happen, but it has finally commenced. BitPay continues to expand consumers' ability to transact in the currency of their choice and give merchants new exposure to a larger base of loyal XRP users intent on driving reward adoption, said BitPay CMO Bill Zielke. That's pretty cool. As reported by You Today, BitPay secretly allowed its customers to buy gift cards with XRP already last week. And eGifter has proudly become the first merchant to accept XRP via BitPay. But yeah, they now all have the ability to if they want to. Let's see, do we have any more XRP? Yes, we do. Lode Moto on Twitter here says, confirmed, XRP is not a security. Say hello to $5. And it's actually pretty funny because he adds, the laughing emojis next to it. And I was kind of confused, right? Was this a joke? Was this real? What did he try to say? But he put in bright letters here, the motion to dismiss should be granted and the complaint dismissed with prejudice. Similarly, plaintiff cannot disavow his allegations of a securities transaction, barring his consumer protection claims. And then the 20th, what do you call that, note? I guess, I don't know the English word. Plaintiff also fails under the unlawful prong because there is no underlying securities violation. So, this was really interesting because I did not know the context too much, didn't know really exactly where this came from. But then Leonidas Hadjiloizou here came to clear everything up, and he actually asked, isn't that the conclusion to Ripple's motion to dismiss? And YB said yes. A lot of other people were talking about this. Most likely, this is really something good, right? Rose here says, can you provide the link? I don't want to, press stuff here in this Twitter section. Don't trust it too much. But if this is really true, that could be something really amazing, right? I don't know if it's been confirmed or exactly what happened to it. I know we're like a day further now, or like 1.5 days further, so there must be some more info, but I looked a little bit, couldn't find it, didn't see any other people talking about it yet. So, pretty cool stuff, to me at least. Rose on the Moon, I actually posted on Twitter, retweet if you're still holding XRP strong. And I find that really interesting, because right now, we're actually doing quite good in terms of price of XRP. Right, we're right now at 23.5 cents, and to me, that's looking pretty nice, right? If we compare it to where we were at, like a month ago, for example, and all of the months prior, here you can see all the way from December 18th, and even here in November 25th, for example, we were doing worse than we are right now. So I guess if you're holding right now, you really are smart, so to speak, right? If you bought here within December, the whole month, and you've held till now, you made yourself a nafty little profit. So I guess that's pretty nice to see. 21% you could have made in the last month. To me, that sounds like a good deal. So yeah, if you're holding, congrats to you, right? That's pretty nice. Tim, I don't want to pronounce that on YouTube, but I think I can, but I don't know for sure. Tim Dix on Ale. Yeah, that's his name. He says, I'm going to be a bold and put my opinion out there. Davos will come and go. Lagarde and Trump will speak independently of each other. Neither will mention XRP, and the Moon Boys will find another day to pin. Hope to. Am I a pessimist? Nope. I've just done XRP since early 2018. And one fun fact is that there's been tons of dates just put out there, and tons of these speculational pieces where we thought that one of these behemoths like Lagarde or Trump was going to be talking about XRP or about crypto in general. And every time up till now, it's been fake news. It's been false. It's been, hope for nothing, like a moon boy talk. And I think that's really also where Tim comes from here, is like, stop being so unrealistic, really, right? He's saying, be realistic with everything, not being pessimistic, but neither of them will most likely mention XRP. It's kind of the hope that's cool about it, but don't, put dates on there where one of these two will talk, because you're just hurting the community. You're just hurting yourself, because the chances are ridiculously small. You could, in theory, just put a date on it every time they will speak and just say, like, yeah, they might mention XRP, because that's basically what these guys are doing, right? It would be wonderful, and most likely, it will happen that one of these behemoths is going to be talking about XRP, or at least Ripple, somewhere within the future. But I don't think we should be putting any dates on that, just because it does more hurt than good. That's, again, my opinion about it. If you disagree or you agree, make sure you let me know in the comment section. Also, make sure you like the video if you watched this far. And don't forget, I'm going to be doing update videos on all these cryptos every single day from now on, so make sure you also press the subscribe button. Cardano price analysis. ADA sets eyes 0.064 has to overcome tough resistance first. So Cardano here is one of my favorite coins, and I think a lot of you guys don't know that. It's just because I've not been updating on them too much within the last couple of months here that, people start to sometimes wonder and ask me, like, hey, do you still hold Cardano? Do you still hold ADA? Are you still happy with what they're doing with the projects and such? And I always respond and say, yeah, I am really happy with everything. But, the reason I do not cover them too much is mostly because I've been trying to look exactly what the people like, and most of all, people are just commenting XRP stuff, and that's, the most news I'm trying to look for. But if you have a specific coin that you would like to know more about, make sure you put it in the comment section, and I'll try to include those in the daily crypto updates. So yeah, today, Cardano's up by 8% after regaining momentum to 0.042. ADA is revamping bullish setups, but immediate resistance is posing threat to buyers. Cardano is currently trading around key price areas against Bitcoin and the US dollar. So I've been actually hearing so much about these prices right now, which is something that I don't often see for Cardano. So if you don't know, Cardano is really one of the coins that takes a slow approach with everything, rather steady than quickly? Rather steady than quickly. And that's one of the things I really respect about them. Just doing everything on your own pace, doing everything in your own time, but then in the end, making sure that everything is done correctly. And, where I see that they really excel is also how they have pushed their community to mostly talk about developments and not too much about price. And that's what always kind of bothers me / intrigues me. It makes me quite curious as to why people still post these price analysis parts. Just because I think the interest in them is rather small if we compare it to another coin like Tron or XRP, where people are really quite interested in price. With Cardano, I would really just like to see articles talking about the developments, what they have done, what they failed to do, what is on their timeline for right now, and that type of stuff. I just really think that this is a little bit of a waste of time. On the other hand, though, there are going to be people who really look at the price only of these coins, right? They don't give a crap about exactly what they do, don't care at all. They don't want news updates. No, they just want the price. And hey, there's nothing we can do about it. But luckily for you guys, you're not those people, I hope. The price, really, these articles are not going to help you out, right? If you wanted to know exactly what's happening, make sure you do your own due diligence, do your own analysis, because this is stuff you could have done within a couple of minutes on your own. You don't need to read somebody else's work for that, because most of the time, it's useless anyway. You can take that from me. Even though this is not financial advice, just for entertainment purposes only. Bank of England to consider adopting crypto. Now, these articles are always exaggerated a little bit, always, put on the spot right there, because in this case here, it's The Guardian, right? They know what they have to place as a title to make people press, all right? This is big news. This is not no small little crypto site somewhere out there. No. These guys know what they need to write to make people curious and click. Bank of England, one of the central banks weighing potential benefits amid decline of cash and emergence of Facebook's Libra. BoE Deputy Governor John Cunliffe will cohere the group on digital currencies. So the Bank of England will examine how Britain could adopt a Bitcoin-style digital currency as part of a global group of central banks that have joined together to examine the possible pitfalls of relying on electronic money. It's actually, a really interesting concept of what can these big banks, these huge banks, central banks within Europe and actually the whole world, benefit from using crypto, right? Using blockchain or using a Bitcoin-like currency. How can they benefit, and how can they make it secure, and how can they make sure that there's no downsides to using it that, weigh off against the good side? And it's really peculiar. It's really interesting to read up about that. But in the end, you can really do that all day, all right? We can really look into it all day and not get drawn to a conclusion, really, because it's just about the decision. We can read up about everything that would be good for them and why they should, yada, yada, yada. But in the end, we have nothing to do with this decision, right? There's no referendum that you can go sign and try to help out. Even then, you're not going to make any difference, and I would really recommend against putting all the facts for yourself on a sheet of why central banks must be adopting crypto and such, because really, the decision is not to you whatsoever. You're most likely not going to convince anybody with that, and the knowledge is nice to have in the back of your head, but really it has no real use out there. I think it would be more interesting to understand blockchain from within itself, and maybe, the banking system, understand those two things separately, than exactly what Bank of England should be using. I hope you guys get me right there. The point I'm trying to make is we're not going to make any difference on this, so exactly what the way-offs are, it's interesting, but also not, because why? What are we going to do with that info? Nothing. We don't make a difference. Crypto today. Bitcoin breaking out of big bearish pennant. And oh, by the way, I should mention that afterwards, in hindsight, it's going to be interesting what the way-offs were and exactly why they chose what decision. I'm just talking here about in advance here. Reading up both possibilities is, in my opinion, a little bit of a waste of time, because you could better wait for the conclusion and then start to backtrack exactly what they chose, why. That's I think, better explanation. Bitcoin breaking out of a big bearish pennant. Really interesting how Bitcoin has been moving over the last couple of days, really against a lot of expectations and also following a lot of these price analyses that I found online. Really quite interesting. But but I guess wow, I just slicked. How do you say that? Wow, how do you say that? If you swallowed or whatever. Yeah, that was that was kind of funny. Crypto today, Bitcoin breaking out of the big bearish pennant. Here's what you need to know on Tuesday markets. Bitcoin USD is currently trading at 86.50, minus 1.5%. Yeah, that's not exactly correct anymore. And in the afternoon in the US hours, price action breaking out to the downside. Yeah, I guess this article is not as interesting as I would have liked. What was important about this now? Oh yeah, here. Oh no, wait guys, I'm a little bit confused. I was like, what is this, just a normal price analysis for Bitcoin? But no, it's actually about the bottom here. This is actually about everything that's been happening right now, which is really positive. Emergo, the official commercial arm of Cardano, has set up a strategic blockchain task force with Uzbekistan's National Agency of Project Management, the Kobia Group, a technological consulting company, and Infinity Blockchain Holdings, an investment firm. Emergo will lead the development of a legal framework for security token offerings and security token trading in the Central Asian country, according to a blog post on January 20th. So this is again really positive about what Cardano and the top parts of Cardano are doing, Emergo in this case. The Bitcoin Cash developer known as Acidsploit announced the launch of the highly anticipated Cash Fusion Alpha. Interested parties can reach out to the Cash Fusion developers via the team's Telegram group to become an alpha tester. The news of the launch has gotten a few talking within the Bitcoin Cash community a great deal, as it means a significant privacy tool is coming to Bitcoin Cash environment. Here's about regulation. You can read up on that if you want yourself. And industry, Binance has officially launched P2P trading services for the Vietnamese dong. With this, Binance will allow traders to buy, sell, and store 4 major digital currencies, Bitcoin, Ether, BNB, and Tether, using fiat. And here's a quote of the day by Satoshi Nakamoto. Those coins can never be recovered, and the total circulation is less. Since the effective circulation is reduced, all the remaining coins are worth slightly more. It's the opposite of when a government prints money and the value of existing money goes down. So guys, that was it for this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure you press the like button, and also comment potato in the comment section if you watched all the way till the end. And I just want to kind of see how many people watched this video all the way till the end, as I must imagine it's not that many. But hey, again, if you enjoyed, make sure you let me know in the comment section. See you guys again in another crypto video. Take care, everybody, and have a very, very nice day.